Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharma sarupine avatar varishtaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha. Dear devotees and friends, yesterday evening, we, as like an introduction to our main topic, the call to the conscience, we said that the one is we can't live separately. The human being can't live separately. We are all interconnected. And because of the progress in science and technology, we have become so close to each other. Anything happening anywhere, immediately we come to know about that and we react about that. And secondly, we discussed that the life is uncertain. From the pandemic 19, we have learned that we do not know what will happen and when. Anything may happen anytime. So life is very, very uncertain. Thirdly, apart from being thankful to all the scientists and the researchers, the human soul should try to go beyond nature. That was the yesterday talk we were having as an introduction. We should try to go beyond the nature. And fourthly, that our inner conscience always inspires us to be free from nature. We concluded with a story that our nature was provoking us to do something wrong, like the prince of the country. He was planning to kill his own father to become king. So somehow he could restrain because of the call of conscience. Then immediately he heard that and he thought, oh no, so much of time has already been passed, and why should I waste the time in this way? And in every human, there are two types of nature. One is Daiva and Ashura. And in the Bhagavad Gita, we find in the 16th chapter, Daiva Sampad Vimokshaya, Nibaddhaya Asuri Mata. And both of this type of nature are there within us, in every human being, the good and bad. Where from it came? From the creation, from the same God. If we consider God as the creator, then from the same God, these both have come. So this we have to understand. When the both are there within us, which side we should take? Of course, the Deva. So these are the discussions. Why? Vimokshaya. What is the Vimoksha? Going beyond the circle of birth and death. This is called Vimoksha. Vishesh Rupena Mukti. Vimoksha. And the particular. So we are not going to, the same thing I'm not going to repeat it again. And in the Kapilopadesha we found, of course, Swami Vivekananda, he said, how it is possible to go beyond that? And he said, man is man so long he fights with his nature. The nature is there, the internal nature is constantly provoking us to do something wrong and think something wrong. And we should not do that. That is the fight is going again and again. That is called, as long as we can continue that fight, that is the human being. The moment we surrender to the nature, then we cease to be a human being. We are living, and maybe the body and it looks like a human, but in reality we are not. So this is where the spirituality, the religion, it steps in. We begin our religion understanding this. And this one nature is good and one is bad. It is there, both are there within us. Then what should we do? Then one son, he was advising his mother, he's a great son, is Kapila. And you know that Kapila's mother and father was Kardama Muni and the mother was Devahuti. Their marriage was the first human marriage. According to the Hindu tradition, that was the first human marriage. Before that, all the creation, everything was out of mind. The Brahma used to think and things were created. About the creation, if you read the Bhagavata, very clearly they mention like that, whether you believe it or not, but it is said in that way. The Brahma is going on thinking and everything has been created. But after the creation of the human being, the Manu, and the Brahma created that out of his own, then one was the Kardama Muni, another was the daughter of a ruler, Swayambhu Manu, that Devahuti. Then the Lord himself said, the Kardama Muni, you must marry her. Your father will bring the daughter to you and you must accept that. And this system you must follow. So lighting the fire, going round 7 times, taking 7 oaths, and then you are becoming husband and wife, and the progeny, all these things, the samsara should be like this. This first son of the Devahuti was Kapila. And Kapila was the Vishnu himself. Why the Lord Vishnu had to take the human form? He understood that from the distance, through others like the Brahma and others, he won't be able to guide the human being. Now, the human being is coming. So we have to give them the guidance. So he took that form of the Kapila, the famous philosopher, and the Samkhya philosophy, and he explained everything, how things are happening. This Kapila, he was telling to his mother, Bhukta bhoga parittaktva drishta dosha cha nittashaha. Na ishwarasya ashubham dharte swe mahimni sthitasya cha. Swe mahimni is a great word. And it is becoming its own. How? Bhukta bhukta parittaktva drishta dosha cha nittashaha. And individual, after experiencing joys and suffering again and again, then permanently abandon them and realize the glory of Supreme Being within. Swe Mahimni. Now the process is very simple. We have to first experience. Some people, they do. And then some people are there, after hearing their experiences, they learn. And some, by observing them, they learn. So this is the way it goes. So bhuktva bhokta parittaktva drishta dosha. So what they do, they give up. Why? After understanding that these things is nothing but so temporary. Anything that we try to get is so temporary. You know, in our country, the people that think about America, they like to come to America and all are. And when you say that you are living in America, even in China, I saw the people, when they heard that you're from America, they will be looking with big eyes. You're from America? Always the thing that it is imagined as a wonderful countries, everything is good. Of course, there is a lot of goodness is there, but still, I know many, because you know that being a sannyasi, so many different type of people from different walks of life, they are contacting us. The great engineer, he came, settled down over here, and now they're behaving crazy. I don't know why. I don't know how he is surviving. He's always thinking that this is happening to me, people are planning against me, and all this. So he came to America, and the millions, they are trying to come, and he was so successful, so lucky. But after coming over here, settling over here, what is the ultimate result? Suffering. So it is not the place that we really enjoy. It is the mind. Wherever we are, we can become happy or we can suffer because of our own thought, or our behavior. So this we have to understand fast. Before, in Hindu, they never use this index finger in any holy thing. This index finger, because we are pointing out to others and saying that they are bad. So Hindus, they say you should not use this index finger. So when you are doing the japa, then we are placing our rosary on this, the third one. And then we are doing the japa. And everywhere you will find we never use the right hand index finger for that purposes, because it is blaming others. This is very, very special, The Hindus, they teach in such a way that you are in showing the finger in this way, blaming others, but in reality, you are to be blamed. So you should not blame others. And that was the ultimate teaching of Ma Sharadamani Devi. And she told, if you want peace, my children, you should not blame others. Find fault within yourself. So that way you can rectify. And here the Kapila is telling, Bhukta, Bhoga, Paritatva. They give up. After they enjoy, they understand the futility of it, then they give it up. Drishta, dosha, cha nityasha. Regularly, every time they are understanding it, and then they are giving it up. That is the Kapila. And then they say, na ishwarasya ashubham datte. Now, that day is never again bound by the Prakriti. Ishwarasya means here the Prakriti, the power of the God. Turning to our conscience and the call of the conscience, that we are listening to our own mind, which is constantly going on telling that you should not do this, you should do this. Not the senior, not the parents, not the teachers. My own mind will say, you should not do it. Then who can help you? Myself. I have to. How? By listening to the great teachers, our scriptures, and my own experience. So that he is telling, Swe Mahimni, in the Upanishad also, this word is a great word for the Vedantin. And one of our monks, he wrote a beautiful book also, Swe Mahimni. The Swe Mahimni means you are becoming your own master. That is the self-realization. And Mahimni, it says the supreme being. Sway, I myself become the supreme being. And to the extent we can say that as the Jesus mentioned, I and my Father in heaven are one. As the Upanishad says, the great rishis, Aham Brahmasmi. So it is the same Sway Mahimni. I am that. I'm not blaming anyone. And how it is possible? By practicing. But the mother of the Kapila, Devavati, and she asked a basic question. She said, son, and she never said, addressed that as because she was receiving the spiritual knowledge from her own son, but at that moment, she never addressed him as son. Rather, he said, Brahman. And she is addressing her own son, Kapila, as Brahman, and saying, Purusham Prakriti Brahman na vimunchati karkachit. Ananna astrayatva nityascha anayo prabho. Oh my Lord, oh Brahman. Why Brahman? You are the source of knowledge. That is the Brahman. So that's why he is asking, you are the source of knowledge. And oh Lord, she is addressing her own son. Look at it. And that is called culture. When you are learning spirituality from someone, there's a guru, you have to give maximum respect to that guru. And then she is putting her doubts and asking, and she is telling, Prakriti karhi chit. Prakriti means the nature. Karhi chit, never ever. Purusham vimunchati. No. From the influence of the Purusha, it can never come out. Why? Because ananya asrayatvat. Ananya api asrayatvat. Asraya is depending each other. Now, what is Prakriti? Action. How the action comes? With knowledge, the consciousness. And they are interrelated. If there is no knowledge, no desire, there will be no action. And when there is no action, the knowledge has no value. I know how to cook, but I am not cooking. I will remain hungry. So obviously, this is the way you have to understand. The knowledge is there, but no activity. So that means what? It's of no use. There is a doctor, but he is sleeping. And his father or mother just by his side, and he or she is suffering. The famous doctor by the side, but it's of no use. Because there is no activity. So action is necessary along with the knowledge. The moment the mother will push her son and say, hey, I'm suffering, and there's a tremendous pain in my body, can you please help me? Then the son will get up and the knowledge of the medicine will also come in his mind. Then he will inquire and give the proper medicine. The action related with the knowledge only can help, otherwise not. So when some people, they gave much importance to that action, the Hindus call them tantrika. What is tantra? Action. And then action means they are going on doing different things. They said, well, the knowledge is there, Shiva is there, but unless the action, the activity, it is of no use. So they give more importance to the action, to the Kali, than the Shiva. That's called Tantra. The one, another way of the Hinduism. So Mother is telling, it is not possible to come out because they are interrelated. Ananya upi astrayatvat. Astraya, they are interrelated, they are depending on each other. Then how can you say Nityacha Anaya Prabhu, that it can be, we can get. So the son, the great Kapila, he was telling you have to come out of the clutches of the Prakriti. Out of the Prakriti, two different types. One is good, another is bad, according to Bhagavad Gita. Daiva and Asura. Now this Daiva and Asura, the good and bad, both are there in the Prakriti. I have to take the side of the good. But who is this I? I am nothing but the product of the same nature, same Prakriti. How can I take the side, good or bad? I'm just floating anywhere they are taking me. No, it is not. Then when the mother asked in this way, so this is the way, pariprasnena sevaya. In the Bhagavad Gita, it says, you have to satisfy your guru by asking proper question, the good question. So then the mother asks this wonderful philosophical question, that you are telling that we are the product of the Prakriti, the nature, the power of God. Prakriti is the word that the Sankhya philosophy they used. The Vedanta used this Maya. Not the same, almost same. The Maya and Prakriti. Now we will use the word Prakriti as because we are discussing the Kapila, the founder of the Sankhya. So here the Prakriti, the nature, the power of God is fully associated with the God only. And what is God? Consciousness. Now both are interrelated, interdependent, and we are the product of that. And how you can say we can come out? And we have to come out. Otherwise, the result is suffering all the time. Again and again taking different birth in different places. And then experiencing, as the Kapila said, experiencing every time the same thing. Same thing. Now, an ant taking birth, it is also taking birth and trying to survive and facing difficulties. And then one day, automatically, it will die. As a human, taking birth, trying to survive, and one day it will die. It goes as this circle goes everywhere the same. Only the name and forms are different. Otherwise, everything the same. But if I see the life of my great-great-grandfather, same. Now my father, same. My same. My child, same thing will happen. Though we dream, but the same thing is going to happen. Challenges will be there, difficulties will be there, and this goes on. So the Kapila is telling, understanding these, circle is going on again and again. We have to step out. We have to think and we have to see that what is the way out. The experiences are not good all the time. Sometimes it is good for some, and then again it is suffering, suffering, and suffering. Now, those who have understood it, for them the spirituality. Those who think the life is so rosy, so wonderful, so good, but it's not for them. The spirituality, religion is only for those who have understood the futility of this life. Now here he said that she is asking this question, how it is possible? Then the son is giving, I won't quote the Sanskrit. The son, the great Kapila, he is telling, bondage of the Purusha and Prakriti through body and mind can be destroyed by doing sadhana. Oh, mother, your question, yes, I appreciate, it's a very good question. But you know that bondage can be the bondage of the birth and life and death that goes on. It can be stopped by doing sadhana. It's a great word. The Hindus, they always talk sadhana. Sadhan karna chahiye manua. In Hindi, there's a beautiful song. Oh, my mind, you have to practice sadhana. Sadhana means spirituality, spiritual practices. Ma Sharadamani Devi, in a very simple, as always she used to be, she said, what is sadhana? What is spiritual practice, my son? It is only somehow to keep the mind on the feet of God. That's all. You have to go on remembering God only, constantly, all the time, and in all situations. So that is called sadhana. So when I am walking, when I am doing this, when I am, every time, a part of the mind should go to God and going on repeating the name of God. And that is called sadhana. And what happens? Now the God, the creator, and his power, this creation. When a dog is coming to bite me, the owner of the dog, the master of the dog, gives a whistle and immediately the dog will stop. It won't bite, right? Similarly, the God's power, this Prakriti, this Maya, when it's coming to bind us, if I look at the God and go to God, immediately God will stop that power. And that, if we going towards God, it's called sadhana. Here binding, here biting, but this is a very wonderful way. The dog, when it is coming to bite, it is a very painful, we can understand. But the Maya is so unique. You will find everything so good, and there are beautiful stories are there. There was a Narada used to boast, I was never bound by the Maya. And the Lord said, okay, that is good. Yeah, I don't know why people are suffering in Maya, but I don't find the Maya. I can always understand it. Then one day they went out walking, and the Lord felt thirst and asked the Narada, I'm feeling thirsty. Can you please go to that nearby the house and bring a glass of water? Narada went, and the beautiful lady opened the door, and Narada forgot what for he has come over there, and the Maya began. And Narada thought that he is living for 12 years, and he has 2-3 children, and he has become the owner of a big plot of land, his lot of money, Then suddenly the flood came, everything went, and somehow by floating he came and he was in a dry land. Somehow he crawled on that, he was crying. Then he found somebody is asking him, Narada, have you brought water for me? Why you are sleeping here? Why you are sleeping here? I asked you to go and bring the water. I am waiting for the water. I'm so thirsty and you are sleeping here. Then he got up and I'm sleeping. Where is my wife? Where are the children? What is my property? What children? What wife? I send you to go to that house. Then the Narada understood this is called the unique Maya. Everything so beautiful, but so binding and so terrible. So in the beginning, it will lure you. It will just tell you that this is beautiful. But ultimately, you are going to suffer. When you understand this, then we have to decide giving up. And giving up is called sannyasa. Nyasa means giving up. So he says it is possible. And he gives a beautiful example. Now he says that as the fire lit with the help of the fuel, destroy the fuel ultimately. So when we are starting the sadhana is doing with what? With the mind. And what is the mind? The full of all desires. But still we are utilizing our mind to do the sadhana, to take it out from the bondage and giving it to the God, to the truth. And ultimately we are destroying all the bad impressions that is there inside the mind. In the beginning, we told there are two different types of impression. One is good, another is bad. One is dvaiva, another is ashura. All the ashura's intentions are destroyed with the sadhana. So he said, one must perform one's own duty, swadharma, as a service to God. The first thing in the human society, swadharma, is a unique word. And at the same time, is a unique system. You need not to give up. Wherever you are, you should be there. Only do it as the service to God. Those who have read the biography of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna or the gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, you all know Girish Chandra Ghosh, a great dramatist and the writer, he wanted to give up all those to become a monk. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, who always, all the time, his only word, oh, the individual, give up all those things and become free. And that person was telling to Girish Ghosh, no. You are very good in doing the drama, and through the drama, you can teach the human society. So practice your swadharma, your own the speciality. Through that, the service to God. What is the purpose of doing that? Service to God. Some are very good singers. Through the song, they can serve the God, like Mirabai. Some are very good writers. Through their write-up, they can serve the God, like the Ramcharitmanas. At Goswami Tulsidas ji, he wrote beautifully that Ramcharitmanas. And even today, people are reading that Ramcharitmanas and getting their inspiration. And some are wonderful orators. And through their oratory, they're inspiring people. Some are very good organizers. Through their organizing capacity, they are doing that. So by each and every way, whatever the best that I know, I am dedicating that for the service of God. That is called Swadharma. And in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord Krishna very categorically mentioned, Swadharme nidhanam sriya, parodharma bhayavava. If you try to follow others' path, which is not yours, it will be a terrible destruction for yourself, because you will lose all self-confidence. Some people are sannyasins. It is by nature, naturally, they can give it up. There is no attraction for them. Maybe from the past birth it is possible. So there. The suppose now suddenly you start following them. Oh, you are so good and happily you are leaving. So let us go and join you. That will be terrible for you. That is not good. The one gentleman, it happened in Bangalore. And Swami Prabhudanandaji, who was here in the San Francisco Ashrama, so he was there in Bangalore at the time. So when he was giving the talk, and he was telling that the giving up is little difficult for some people, then one gentleman told that it is not. But the Ramakrishna mission, it is all good because you can stay very nicely, your food is there, everything. So it is not for other people, those who are wandering monks, okay, that is difficulty. But for you people, it is so easy. And in the meeting, he said, so obviously the Swami had to take the challenge and he said, okay, can you please come and stay with us here? He agreed, okay, I will come. But one thing, you should have to follow the routine of our brahmacharis, the novices, as they are practicing in the same way. All food and everything, as they get, everything you will also get. One day, first day was all right. The second day, the Swami noticed him, he's standing near the door and watching others, the passers-by. That is on the side of the main thoroughfare, the main road. So he was watching the cars are moving, people are talking. Then he said, hey, why you were standing there? No, just watching. Are the others, brahmacharis, novices are watching that? What they are doing now? No, they are studying. So you also go and study. And the third day, the poor man said, oh, please leave me. I like to go back. So why? Are you not getting good food or any? No, everything is so good, but I don't know what is happening from some within. I'm getting the pull. I must go, otherwise I will die. So if you experience this, you will understand it is so difficult in the monastic life. And apparently, as though they are so happy living, it is not. You are completely not only, it is not a bachelor's life. There are many people, they're bachelor. But it's not only a bachelor's life, it's a dedicated life. And the dedication, every moment you have to. And what is the dedication? Every moment your ego, you have to crash your ego. I like to do this, I like to do that. And the authority will say, no, you cannot do this. Whatever I say, you should do that. And you know that you are much better than that person, but still you have to follow that. So by this is the way, crashing your ego all the time. Then you say, depending on the God, let thy will be done. So that is called the sadhana. And the Kapila is telling Mother, through sadhana, it is possible. And possible for Swadharma also. Wherever you are, if you practice that, that will be sufficient. When Sri Ramachandra, he was visiting the different the sages, munis, in the Dandakarana, then one of the munis that is called Sutikshna Muni, in there, Balakilla Munis and others, they met Ramachandra and they say to Rama, you need not to practice spirituality separately. As a king and as a Kshatriya, your responsibility is to look after the other people, their well-being. Just do that. And you will get all the good result out of that. And after the death, you will go to Brahmaloka. That means on the highest plane that you will go. There will be no suffering for you. You are an administrator. You need not to go to temple for meditation. You don't have to do anything but like that. You are just 24 hours focused on your work. And the work that you are doing not for your own benefit, but for the service to God, that attitude. Here is the key. Service to God. When I am cooking in my house, I am doing that to offer to God. And the God is coming in the form of my grandfather, my mother, my husband, my children, but I am so happy that I am feeding them. Don't think that they are separate. They're all God. And God says, they're coming and partaking your food. So that is the attitude. When we are cleaning, when you are talking with people, when we are working, each and every step we can do in that way, and that is called sadhana, spiritual practice. Spiritual practice doesn't mean that you have to fast, you have to go to this place or to that place. That is, of course, there in the beginning. When ultimately it becomes like this, whatever you think, whatever you do, each and every time, every moment, you are doing it for the service of God. That is called spiritual practice. Then he said, one must cultivate purity in body and mind. Purity in body and mind. What is this purity? The Lord Jesus said, blessed are those who are pure in heart, for they shall see God. Only those people who are pure in heart, their thoughts are pure. What is this purity? Swami Vivekananda said, each soul is potentially divine. Only you have to manifest that divinity. What is this divinity? What is this purity? We always talk about purity. And for the purity externally, the Hindus will go to the holy rivers like Ganga, Jamuna. The Muslims will be drinking and sprinkling the water of the Jam, the well, and the Christians will be Jordan River water. We think that these are all, that of course it is good. Because of the river, the civilization is developing, but that is not purity. If it is purity, then so many fishes are there already in the water. Are they all pure? And by eating those fishes, you are also becoming pure. Then no problem. So it is not. So what is purity? Very simple. It is love and unselfishness. Think what Swami Vivekananda said. The divinity is already within you. You need not to cultivate. You need not to bring from outside. Don't wait to get it. You are already there. What is that? Love. You have the love, but that love is limited love. Only for your own people, kith and kin. But when that love breaks the boundary and embraces each and everyone, that is called divine love. And it needs the practices. Unselfishness is there. So many sacrifices we are doing. The father working so hard, earning that money, and then with that money he is purchasing things for his children, the wife, and the relatives, and the parents. It is sacrifice. But that sacrifice, it is there, but only for a limited. You have to break that. That's all and nothing else. What is spirituality? What is purity? Love and unselfishness. And if we understand this, it becomes so easy for us slowly to imbibe that, to develop that. We are not going to get it from outside. It is already there. Only we have to be aware about it, and you have to develop that and have to utilize that in every moment of our life. And he said, one must cultivate purity in body and mind. How? Here the Kapila say, by hearing. And Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna puts this as sadhu sangha, holy company. When you go to a holy company, they will be all the time talking about this, and that is called hearing, and hearing. And you will find in all spirituality, there's mythology. What is the purpose of mythology? The beautiful stories in all philosophy and all religion. Without mythology, there will be no religion. Why the mythology? The truth that has been depicted through a character. So you start believing about it. And sometimes the history, the truth is there, and the ideology, they mix together, become mythology. That there was a great king, and he said that whoever will come and ask anything from me, I will give the donation. So this, when they were thinking in that way, that the king used to practice in that way. Then the gods thought, oh, let us go and test him. Is it true? Sometimes they say like that, but they don't do. I will do this, I will do all our present day, all world leaders, all political people. They say so many things that when they are elected, they completely forget that. If you remind them, they will be angry. So I said that at that time, don't remind me that. So this way they always go. But the true people, whatever they say, they stick to that. The Raja Harishchandra was a great character, and it is a history. And he said, whoever will come and ask anything, I will give it to him. Then a Brahmin came in the form of a guru. Actually, the Indra came and he said, not small little thing, you have to give me the whole country that you are the king ruling. Okay. And then he said, since you have already given it to me, and I ask you to go away from here, you should not live over here. With the wife and son, the king then went out. And he has to earn something, what to do. So somehow the king, and as the gods, they made it in such a way, the life became so difficult. The king could not get a job anywhere. So ultimately he had to go to a place where the people used to come for burning their dead bodies. And he became the assistant to that person who was having that. So he became assistant to the person who was burying and cremating the bodies. And his wife was living with the Brahmin. And the child was bitten by a snake and passed away. The wife carried that dead child into that same cremation ground where the Harishchandra was there. And he told, please burn the body of your own son. Harishchandra told, I cannot. I have to take some money before doing that. That is the system. My master told that. You know the story, most of you. So pathetic. And we think, why? Only to keep the promise. Then ultimately, of course, the God revealed, now you have passed the exam and you are really a great person, Data. So this is the way the story goes. So many stories that this is the way the people are encouraged. I have to keep my promise. So Swadharma is that by hearing, when you hear, when you see, and we get inspiration. So that is the mythology. Reading. When you are reading something, it goes into our mind. And third, meditating on that. When you are reading the Bhagavad Gita, then what do we think in the Bhagavad Gita? There's so many beautiful teachings are there. So we take up one teaching and meditate on that. The one of the direct disciple of Bhagavan Ramakrishna, he never read the complete Gita in one day. He used to take only one sloka and he will read that and he will meditate on that. Klibhyam masmagamo partha naita tayupapaddhate. All this feeble-heartedness should go away, oh Arjuna. You are the mighty one. He started meditating on that. What is this feeble-heartedness? Because I'm afraid to lose. The why feeble-hearted? Because I'm afraid to lose. I know this is good. I cannot stick to this because I think by that way I will lose this thing and that thing. So this way, he used to meditate on every sloka of Bhagavad Gita, Swami Turiyanandaji. So this is called reading. Just one after another pages. When the people, they come, Swamiji, what you suggest to read? I told the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Within 1 month, they come back and say, we have completed the Gospel. Now what else? And my God, if you go so fast, then it will be difficult. But anyway, the Ramakrishna Vivekananda has a huge collection. So you go on. Now you read the first volume of the complete work, second volume. So you go on keeping him busy. But that is not reading. The browsing the pages and that's all. Reading means whatever you are reading, And after that, you have to stop and then meditate on that. And the meditation means you are focusing on the teaching of that. And when you are focusing your mind on that teaching, you are imbibing those qualities. So that is called hearing, reading, meditating. And then one must seek knowledge. Here the Kapila, he is mentioning one must seek knowledge. You must meditate on God, but seek knowledge. Who is this God? My God is this, your God is that, and then we are fighting. Come, let us have a nice fight. I will kill 30 of your people, you kill 15 of mine, and like that it goes on. Is this religion? Thousands of years we are doing like this. And those who are always ready in the name of to kill others, to punish others in the name of religion, they never practice about. And they never know what is religion. That's why the Kapila said, you must know the knowledge. Seek the knowledge. What is the knowledge? Again, we have to go to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. And in a very simple way, he said, knowing one is knowledge. And knowing many is ignorance. When you look at all these things, and you say, oh, they're all different. Of course, one kind of idea, but that is not true knowledge. So this is the light burning. This is called tube light, and that is the bulb. This is the fan. This is the microphone. This is the computer. All are different names. All are different forms. All are having different type of activities, work, performances. So when we say this is different, that is different, of course it is true. But at the same time, a person with knowledge will come and say, all are active because of the electricity. If the electricity is not there, none of it will work. So the elephant is powerful because of the Atman, because of the consciousness. A man is intelligent because of the consciousness. And whatever you see, a bird is flying because of the consciousness. The bird can fly, elephant cannot. Elephant can uproot a tree, bird cannot. The man can understand all this because it is intelligent. But all these different names, forms, activities. But what is the basic thing? Consciousness. When the consciousness is not there, the elephant, the bird, and the human being, their dead bodies will be lying on the street, and people will say they are all dead. The bodies will be different, names will be there, but no activity because consciousness is not there. So when a person comes and says, all these electrical things that you see, different names and forms and actions, but it is actually one, because it is the electricity. Similarly, the Jnani will come and say, though you see so many varieties of people, some are fair-looking, some are dark, some are yolish, some are this side, some are that, and they speak different languages, they eat different type of food, but all are conscious beings. But this consciousness, when the moment we understand that, and accordingly we behave, and that is called knowledge. It is no emotion. Because sometimes people are emotional, so we should not kill the animals, we should not kill the birds and these, and that is emotional way of understanding. But knowing the knowledge means understanding the one. The Brihadaranyaka Upanishad is a huge Upanishad. Brihad Aranyaka is a big forest. Aranyaka means forest. Brihat means big. The big forest. There are so many pages. Only one thing. Only one knowledge. That is, it is only Atman. From the first to the last, all the pages are the same thing. That's why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, what is there in your Veda? Brahma Shatya Jagan Mithya. Is there anything else? So that is true. This is called knowledge. So this, he said, one must seek knowledge. One must have the intense dispassion. When one is having the knowledge that everything is nothing but the consciousness, so why should we have the attachment for the names and forms? Where we get attached to names and forms and nothing else. Then some forms are there and some names are there, that's all, and nothing else. So one should have the dispassion. When we are living with that, it's okay, but we should not be bound by that. Without that, I am going to die. If we think in that way, it is completely destruction. So we have to understand this. My life has a different purpose. And when I am leading my life, living in the society as a doctor, engineer, or some profession, whatever that I am doing, I am earning little money in exchange of my the services. And then whatever I want to enjoy, I do. But at the same time, I know these are all very temporary. I should not get attached to these. There's some of the people, they will be so ruthless type, heartless. They're also having no attachment, but it is not like that. It is not like that. They say tremendous light and the darkness are the same. In the tremendous light, you cannot see. And at the dark also, you cannot see. The sattva and the tama, they're almost like the same. But a great difference is there. What is that? Through understanding, through knowledge, they behave like that. But they have the compassion. They have the love. They're always ready to serve, ready to help. But at the same time, completely detached. If you read the life of Sri Krishna, he did everything to bring the knowledge of those type of people, what is dharma. He could become an emperor of the whole India, but he didn't. He had that capacity. But ultimately, when he went back after all the Mahabharata, the war, he went back to his own place. He found because of his glory, his own people of the same clan, they're misbehaving with others. They have not understood what is this religion. Not only that, his own son, Shamba, he was misbehaving with the rishis. And very peculiarly, as a group of young people, fully drunk, they were enjoying on the street. Suddenly they found some of the rishis, after meeting the Krishna, they were returning back. And seeing the rishis, they thought, let us have some fun with these rishis. And they met that Shamba, dressed like a woman, and then they took that and said, now this lady is pregnant. You rishis, you can see the past and present. Can you please tell us whether he is going to give the birth of a son or a daughter? Then the rishis once, twice, and then they became angry. One of them, Ashtabakra perhaps, turned to them and said, this boy is going to give the birth of a piece of iron, mushala, is going to give the birth of a mushala. Mushala means the piece of iron, and that will destroy the whole clan. The clan of Krishna. They went to pay respect to the Krishna. And the rishi, he said, it is going to destroy the clan of Krishna. Krishna heard it, Lord Krishna, but he never said anything and never tried to stop it because he said, my work is done. When Swami Vivekananda, after doing so much, he returned back to Velurmat. And then one day he was telling to his own guru, Sri Ramakrishna, Jai Prabhu Jai. Oh my Lord, my task is done. My mission is over. I like to return back to my own abode. Let the dead bury their dead. Mrite Shatkar Mritera Guru. Let the dead bury their dead. What is this dead? Because all that we see is nothing but the Maya's thing going on. Let they do. If they learn, it is good. If they don't, let them suffer. I have nothing to do. So they're doing everything. And so much, forget about Krishna, it's a long back. We may think that is only a mythological story. But what about Swami Vivekananda? He was here in Chicago, in America. You cannot deny. But the same thing happened to his life also. No attachment, tremendous love, affection. And for that, he was going on visiting village after village, cities after cities, to make them aware. Then ultimately he withdrew. So that he is telling intense dispassion. Understanding the futility of this worldly life, dispassion. One must seek refuge in the divine. So that is what he said in the Kapila, he said. Friends, ours is that we have to listen to our conscience. And when we listen to that, what we find, it always says, maybe the voice is very feeble, but it goes on telling, you are divine, you are divine, you are divine. And therefore, go on increasing those divine qualities. As because time is up, and I'll be, if you have any question, we'll be answering. These divine qualities are 26. I would request you that if you are interested, you can read the 16th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, the first 3 verses. They are giving the list of all that. That is the divine quality. All through our life, we are going to the temple, churches, synagogue, mosque, but we do not know actually why we go over there. The practice we go, and sometimes what the neighbors will say, oh, you are not a holy man, you are not visiting the church, so I just go over there, and then somehow spending 1 hour, and then come out and very happy. So whatever the 7-day scene I have done, I have given to God, again I am fresh. So nothing like that. It is only inculcating some of the wonderful qualities. And the first quality is understanding that we are not going to die. When the body is changing, the time will come, we will change this dilapidated old body to a new one. That's all. So the fearlessness, abhayam, that abhaya is there. And the next is sattva samsuddhi, purity of heart. What is the purity of heart? What is the purity? Love and unselfishness. So if you are constantly thinking about others, praying for others, trying to help others, you are making yourself pure. So these 2 I am just mentioning here. The others, 24, you please read. And if you are interested to read the Bhagavata, they are also the Sri Krishna, the Lord Krishna, he is giving a list of 20 qualities by which one can be considered as a sadhu. When the Lord Krishna said that I am leaving, I am going to give up the body, then his great disciple and friend, Uddhava, he said, then where I will go? Who will teach me religion? Then for all many other things, he said, have the sadhu sangha as a holy company. Then the Uddhava asked, how I will recognize a holy man? The 20 good qualities. And the first quality is kripalu. When you see a person is full of love within, and not only for his kith and kin, for each and every one, all being, that kripalu is the first quality of a holy person. That we have to understand that. Thank you, friends. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Thank you for your patience to listen to. And I always pray to God that whatever we read, we hear, let both of us, the listener and the person who is discoursing, get the benefit of it. So when I am telling, it doesn't mean that I all the time imbibing that, I'm practicing also. And when I am exchanging that or sharing that with you, again, I'm getting that inspiration. Oh, these are the things I should have to practice. And may the divinity, the God, bless us and give us that capacity to understand